Hello and Merry Christmas. It's another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast, where we experience and explore everything that makes small towns great. I'm your host, Abby, and it's the week before Christmas. Can you believe it? 2023 went by so dang fast. And, this time of year, we're all in our little nostalgia eras. And I'm just thinking back to where I was last year at this time. And the podcast was just in like the baby infancy stages of getting started. We launched at the end of January, and it's just been such a rewarding and a fulfilling year. And the holidays just got me in my emotions. But at the same time, I'm also completely unprepared for the holidays. When you're as busy as I am with everything that I have going on, you just don't really have time to really soak it all in. But I think that's also just a general part of adulthood. We're all running a million miles an hour, and we have to be intentional about just taking some time to pump the brakes and embrace the holiday season, no matter how it looks in our lives, whether you got the house half decorated or not at all, or the presents are still sitting next to you in a pile in Amazon boxes waiting to be wrapped, which is where I'm at right now. I need to get those done, but it'll happen. Just probably at the last minute. So for today's episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast, we are going to be hanging out with a family member of mine. We're going to be talking to Megan May. Now, Megan is also a podcast client of mine. She runs the Megan May podcast, which we just started back in August, September. She texted me in July and said, "Hey, I've kind of been thinking about starting a podcast. Could you help me?" And of course, my answer is always yes. Let's go. Let's do this right now. And she has just been incredible. I'm so proud of her journey as a podcaster and as a human. Megan has such a unique and special story that she shares. Her podcast is all about motherhood and adoption and just navigating life in general. And she is very well spoken, and I love her message. I love her heart. She's just a wonderful human, and I can't wait for you to get to know her better on the Small Town Tourist Podcast. When you're done with this episode, please go check out the Megan May podcast as well. I have all the links to her shows down in the show notes, as well as a link to her boutique, You Matter Boutique, which is her business that she runs. So be sure to check that out as well. Please enjoy our time hanging out with Megan May.
Do I say hey?
Or some people say hey, some people just go into it.
Okay. Hey everyone, I am Megan May, and I am the co-founder of You Matter Boutique, which is a boutique heavily catered to people in the adoption or foster community or women who grow their babies in their hearts and tummies. I am from Long Prairie, Minnesota, where Miss Abby lived, and I also am a mama of 4. And live in the country with my husband, Jake.
It's always a treat when I get to record with people in person. And the beauty of this is we actually get to hang out quite a bit, usually on a monthly basis. So you've heard me talk about this on the podcast before, but Megan is one of my fabulous podcast clients. So you forgot to mention that you're also a podcaster.
I did. I am a podcaster, thanks to Abby's amazing editing abilities. I got to start my own podcast, which was weighing on my heart for some time. So I have the Megan May podcast. It is full of just making people realize how much they matter in this world, talking about all things marriage, family life, business, and everything in between.
And just real life. There's so many great topics that you cover, even just today. This episode will be coming out before these episodes come out, but we touched on just leaving things in the past when it comes to moving into a new year. We talked about habits, and there's just a lot of good quality content that you put out, and I'm just so proud of you. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves here. Let's rewind just a little bit. So Megan, this isn't your first go around with being a boutique owner either. So give me a little background on you that way.
So almost 6 years now. A friend of mine came to me on a mission of just spreading joy in this world, and she decided to bring me along with her. Her name was Lindsay, and she was like, "Hey, I think we should open up a boutique in our tiny town of Browerville," which is actually right next to Long Prairie. And so in a crazy way, I said yes. And so we opened Sprinkle of Joy Boutique, which led to us opening another location in Sauk Center, which came along with a flower shop, which came along with another business partner, Amy. And we had both of those places for about 5 years together. Yes. Until 2023 came, and it was the year of like goals and all these dreams, and we were going to do all these things. And then we hit this like weird season where we just all kind of felt a pull to navigate business life in different ways. And as I mentioned before, I have 4 kiddos. 3 of my kids grew in my tummy and are my biological children. And 2 years ago, my husband and I went on a journey of adoption, and we welcomed our little girl who grew in my heart, and she will be 2 in February, which is just crazy. So I am somebody who walked in the adoption space, never thought I would. It was never a dream or goal or anything that we had, but God's plans are different. And so he kind of called us into that space. And I thought after, we received our daughter, and she is just such a joy. So I thought that would be enough. But I felt this pull on my heart to go back into this space to love on these women and families really in their journey, because it was a hard journey. So I went through a season in 2023 where I was like, oh man, I feel I need to be a light in this space. And my 2 amazing business partners were so supportive. And so in July, we actually, all 3 of us separated. And so Lindsay took on Sprinkle of Joy in Browerville. Amy took on which is called Joyful Blooms in Sauk Center. And I took on, I don't know. No, I took on a lot of trust and a lot of courage, and I started just really wanting to provide gifts. I know both Amy and Lindsay wanted to give me gifts of encouragement and love in our journey, and they couldn't find anything. They had a hard time finding stuff that catered to adoption in general, or courage, strength, all that. And so I just wanted to provide that. And so I called up Abby, and I was like, hey, I think I need to start a podcast. And then from the podcast, I was like, hey, I think I need to start an Etsy shop. So I started an Etsy shop called You Matter by Megan. And then I love Etsy, but I know that it has rules, and I am someone who doesn't like to follow rules. So I still have my Etsy shop, but I also wanted a website that I could just have more products that weren't all handmade or anything like that to be able to offer in this space. So out of nowhere on a Thursday, I woke up and I was like, I'm going to start a website. So You Matter Boutique was born. It's a very simple platform that will hopefully continue to grow, but that is where I'm at right now. So it's pretty exciting and crazy.
Crazy is an understatement. You were giving me a rundown of the past couple months that you've had, and if you think that I'm a crazy workaholic, world, meet Megan. There's definitely some matching bloodlines here. We're cousins, so the apples didn't fall too far from the original tree with us.
Yes, we're trying to figure out what side we fully got that all from, but workaholics is it, or dreamers. I call it driven dreamers.
That's a really good way to put it, because we're not just workaholics, like just going into work, being a slave to some corporate system. We do this because we love what we're doing, and the foot's on the gas, and we don't want to let up.
Yeah, it's exciting, it's thrilling, and it's scary.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. So yeah, I kind of hit this mid-year where, I hit 36, and I'm just still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, and it's kind of exciting, actually.
Yeah, and like you said, you might just wake up on a Thursday and start a website or do something else.
Why not?
So give me a little bit of a rundown on everything you do have on your website.
Okay, so obviously, and it was part of our boutique, we wanted to start shippable gift boxes we are huge on spreading joy, hence the name Sprinkle of Joy or Joyful Blooms. And so we originally, before we separated, had this vision to do shippable gift boxes to ship joy anywhere. And so we kind of started with that. And then part of that vision was heavily catered to adoption and people who grow their babies in their tummies and hearts. And so when we separated, I knew that I wanted to kind of take that with me. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I kind of wanted to take that with me. And so my website is Heavily Gifts, gift options. There's gift boxes, there's different price points on there, and it's really cater to the theme of you matter. Your journey matters. Like, I think everyone's story and journey is so beautiful. I love to dig deep into people, but I also know, like, you know, the encouragement and the love in the sport, people need that. And for me, we were in a small town and there wasn't a ton of people that I could relate to, that I could find that truly understood our journey. You know, and I even had like a ton of support with my husband, a ton of support with our family and all that. But to like have someone truly understand the journey, understand the tears and the hard and everything in between, I wanted to be that for someone. I wanted someone to experience that when they opened up a box, that they would feel just joy. It also has a lot of personal items, like we have accessories and the adoption symbol necklace that says you are loved on it. We have necklaces for birth moms, and I kind of wanted to cater to anyone in the space. I know open adoption is a huge thing right now. There's a lot of people connected to their child's birth family, and so I wanted to be able to provide a gift, a birthday present or Mother's Day present or something like that to a birth mom as well, because ultimately, no matter what the situation is, they gave life and they made the most amazing and strong decision to place their child into a different family. And so that was something I want them to also feel loved as well.
And that's so incredible, because I don't know what these families go through. I don't know what prompts the decisions to be made and all that. But hearing your story, if you have not listened to this, go back to the Megan May podcast, Marin's adoption story, parts 1 and 2, fabulous episodes. You go into so much detail about what you guys went through with your adoption process. And it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's heavy, it's emotional, but it's also on the opposite end, joyful when everything comes together.
Yeah, hardest journey, but it is so beautiful. And the more I get into the space and the more I hear other people's journey, it is very, the statistics are very high on, was it like 1 in every 25 families have adopted or come from some kind of adoption or foster care, something like that. And I think it's pretty amazing. Also, on the flip side, our family looks different. My biological children, my husband, we are all white, and we have a daughter who is biracial. And so I have just loved also having a family that looks a little bit different. It has forced me to learn different culture and all the things, but it also gives us the opportunity to talk to other families that look a little bit differently. Their family table does look different, and how that can be such a beautiful thing as well.
It is really a beautiful thing, and especially coming from the smaller community that we are from, the bulk of us pretty much all look the same.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So it's great to open people's eyes to that, especially because a lot of people do stay in the communities when they're from small towns. They don't necessarily leave small towns. They don't go out and experience other things. So it's cool that you guys are being almost an educational resource for a different culture.
Yeah. And, I think the biggest thing for us is like people just are curious, and we're never offended if someone like says something or asks questions or something of like, yeah, our skin color is different. All our kids are different. They're not all made to be the same. And so I think it's just gives you a beautiful opportunity to talk to people and to educate them when they do ask. And so we definitely embrace it as a family and hope that our daughter Marin, who is our daughter that we adopted, we hope that she always knows like it's a good thing if people want to ask. It gives us an opportunity to educate them and to help them learn. And that's where when we know better, we do better. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And even though like everyone's going to look different, but it doesn't make your kids loved any more or less. Right. They're all getting this huge outpouring of love from the entire family.
She's kind of our favorite. No, she doesn't. No, I'm joking.
She's the only one that's not talking back.
I know, right? Yes. She's not a preteen yet, so.
Hard years.
Right. Yeah. So that's kind of where things are at. I also have graphic shirts on our website, and I truly hope to continue to grow more and more. I have been doing a lot of research and finding items. I met this amazing mom from Canada. She went on a whole infertility journey, and she makes these amazing bracelets for adoption and for miscarriage and like all the things. And so I found her, and I was like, can I please sell your stuff on my website? So I just also love not only having products available, but I also have the opportunity to support other small businesses with my products. And I think that's really cool when you have a story behind even what you purchase too. So yeah, it's just been really fun. It's really new. There's a lot of learning and a lot of, I hope, growing with it, but we all have to start somewhere. So
Exactly.
Humble beginnings. Yes.
So do you plan to ever go into like a physical space, or are you thinking this is just going to stay online? I know the phrase is make plans and watch God laugh, but
Right. Right. Oh my gosh, is that the truth? Right now I am in a bedroom, and I'm having my husband, we have a third stall in our garage, and we are going to totally paint it and redo the floor, and I'm going to make that my office space in my warehouse. And it's funny because like I am just like, oh, I want to stay small and just have a few things. And then I already grew out of a bedroom. So I need a little warehouse. And my husband just like shaking his head because he knows nothing usually stays small with me. I just can't stop. So right now we are going to be moving into the third stall of our garage, which I love because I feel like every beginning of a business or a dream starts from humble beginnings. And so it's kind of fun. I hope someday to look back and be like, oh my gosh.
remember when we were in a garage? I mean,
I
Apple products, they started in the garage.
Oh, but then again, I don't want to employ employees or to go back into the business space like that, but we'll never say never. So we'll see. My 12-year-old right now wants me to hire her. So she might be my first employee, but we will see. I have no idea where it will go. I am so excited to just provide a platform to allow friends or family to give happiness or to give support and love by sending someone a gift. So it's been pretty cool.
There's lots of great options on the website. Everyone should
Yeah.
definitely go check it out.
Thank you.
And definitely check out the Megan May podcast.
Yes,
Not just
thank
saying that because I
you.
helped make it.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
But
she's a
it's-
miracle worker.
It's truly amazing how much you've grown. Because,
you.
I mean, when did you text me? Like end of July? And then we
think
first
it
recorded in
was.
August?
Yeah. I think I did. And then you're like, yeah, I totally do it. And then I was like, oh crap, now I don't want to do it. I'm scared to death. And then I was like, let's just do it. And yeah, I started a very shaky voice and all. And Abby, you've just been such an encouragement to me. So I thank you. Thank you for helping me work on my Minnesota accent.
Oh, it's a curse that we're all
You
dealt in this
guys,
life.
Yes. So I appreciate that and just encouraging me and making me believe in myself. It's so easy for me to do that to others and to be like, I hope you know how much you matter. You're amazing to other people. But like to have someone do it to me, thank you. I'm very appreciative of you.
You're a rock star.
If you ever want to start a podcast, this is your girl. She will encourage you. And like I said, we get done with episodes and I'm like, oh gosh, how is that going to sound? And then she sends it over to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're amazing.
I always say I have a very specific set of skills in this lifetime, and it's editing podcasts and hitting play on music when I DJ weddings.
See? Gosh, you're really, your gifts are a miracle for many of us. So thank you.
Specific. Yes. But seriously, everyone go check out Megan's podcast. She has such great messages, such great stories. It's relatable. It's real. If you're going to listen to anything, start with the adoption story because it is my favorite. I cried editing it and recording it. It was just so good. And check out Megan's website. There's good stuff there.
Thank you. And if nothing else, I know my website isn't going to cater to everybody, but please share it. Please share it because there's a lot of people out there who are in a journey of adoption, who are foster mamas, who, a family that grows babies a little bit differently, that if you share it, there's somebody that could use it. So I appreciate the love and support for sure.
And it's always free to share things on Facebook.
It is always free. Yes. yes. So
awesome. Thank you, Megan.
thank you for having me on. You're just such a joy.
Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast. I appreciate you being here. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And please, as always, rate and review the show. If you have something cool that you want me to check out, please send me a message. You can do that on Instagram at The Small Town Tourist. Same thing on Facebook, or you can email me, Abby, ABBEY, at thesmalltowntourist.com.